We're a week away from Christmas, and I thought I'd do something special for you today, and that is to help you paint your own Christmas card for you to give to your loved ones. A hand-painted and written card is going to be very special. This is also something I'm thinking to do more in the future, which is to share tutorials that are easier for beginners to follow and achieve. While I will still share the process of my regular scenery and portrait paintings, I also want to make watercolor painting more accessible to you if you are just getting started. So if you like the idea of having easier painting tutorial that's more for beginners or hobbyists, drop me a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. So this is the painting we're going to do together today. This demo will be real time, non-sped up, so take your time and follow along. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so let me talk about the paper that I use. This is Baohong Artist Grade Cold Press. The size of the paper is 10 by 7, so I divided by half, so I have 5 by 7. This will be a good size for a greeting card. So I am going to do a very simple drawing, and it's going to be a very simple painting. I don't have a reference photo because this is completely just from my brain. So I will start off by just doing a barn. So like a very simple triangle rooftop and something like that. This wall right here, the siding. Okay, and now I want to give this roof a little bit of thickness here. Okay, so that we can have sense of snow there, and there's going to be a big tree in the foreground like that, one tree somewhat behind the barn, and the mountain of trees and stuff in the background like so. Actually, I want it to be higher so it kind of enclose the barn. Okay, and then we want a snowman here, somewhat in the foreground. The head, the body. Snowman has a hat. Something like that. Make sure the hat is big enough. Okay, and the eye of the snowman, I'll just make it something like that, a little bit off to the side so he is looking to the right. Let's give the snowman a scarf, that, some buttons, follow the curvature of the snowman's body, and that's about it. Very, very simple painting. I don't want to make it very complicated. That I'm going to make this the bottom of the hill, something like that. Okay, so we will start by just painting the first wash. Okay, so the first wash, I will do the color of the light. So we'll start with the sky. Cobalt blue, cerulean blue. Okay, that's a nice sky blue, and I'm just gonna go right into it. Use a bigger brush. I have a number 14 Escoda Ultimo, which is a synthetic squirrel hair brush. Soaks up a lot of water and paint. So there you go. Now I want to paint around the edge of the house, so we keep that nice and white. Okay, there's snow on it. Okay, here I will just paint it over. Same thing here. Okay, for the edge of the house, of the roof, we want to leave that gap there. Okay. Okay. Now, I do want a little bit of warmth in the snow. The sun is hitting it, so it will have a little bit of a warm glow. So hence a yellow, a little bit of a yellow ochre. And just some water. And I will just paint that in. Some quick stroke over. There we go. So you have some nice warm color there. Okay, and now I'm going to start painting my second wash. Very important. For the first wash, you want to preserve the highlight here and the highlight here. Okay, you don't want to paint into that because you want that white snow, but the snowness on the ground a little bit lower, we can have a little bit of the warmth to it. Okay, but make sure you use a nice big brush so you have a nice big wash in the background. Now I'm going to use a smaller brush. This is a Escota Versatile number 14 synthetic Kolinsky brush. Now I will mix a darker mixture, so still quite a few blue, but I'll add a little bit of burnt umber. So we got this cool gray here, and I'm just going to paint here on the background. Okay, a little bit of pointy silhouette on top like that. Okay, but for the most part, keep it nice and simple. Now again, once we reach the house, careful, preserve that rooftop. Reload your brush, okay, as needed. Also here, preserve that nice light. Connect that to the tree in the back. Tree on the right as well. And we can just paint over the hat. The hat is going to be darker, so. And on the bottom here, we will paint and stop at this line. That's where the heel, the background heel, hits the ground, hits the snow. Okay, now clean my brush a little bit. I am actually going to grab some blue here. And I am just going to paint right into the snowman here and right here. Okay, give it a little bit of curve. That's the form shadow of the snowman. Okay, also here, shadow that the scarf is casting. We'll paint the color of the scarf later. Well, since we're at it, we will add some shadows here from the background. So maybe trees off in the distant left, but let's just paint that. Connect shape. So maybe some tree shadow here and there. And the snowman is casting its own shadow as well. So the body of the snowman. And here's the head of the snowman. Something like that. And some other shadow here. So we just want a little pocket of light. That's what we want. Go all the way across. Something like that. Okay, now lots of cool colors, so time to change it around. I'm going to paint the barn, so the burnt sienna with a touch of red, got a nice warm barn color here underneath the roof. Nice and warm. Okay, we'll actually paint this side as well. This side is hit by the sun, but the color of the siding is that warm reddish color, so we'll just keep that. Okay. Now, don't stop here. I'll make some burnt sienna, burnt umber actually. Burnt umber with a touch of orange. So we got a nice dark warm color. A little bit of yellow ochre. And I'm going to use this color for the tree in the foreground. So really quick brush stroke on diagonally to the left and right. Okay, some more burnt sienna. Add a little bit of blue, actually. Get that neutral back. This is our foreground tree, and the reason we make that warmer is because light is hitting on it, so we can have some warmer color on that tree here. Connect that to the shadow on the bottom. I'm actually trying to make it a little bit more yellow actually, so some Hansen yellow. I'm just gonna paint right on top. Some more yellow color, that. Alright, something like that. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a nylon hairbrush. This is a Skoda Perla. You can use size 12 or size 10. It has a very nice fine point, so it will be great. Now I'm going to mix a dark tone, so neutral tint, some burnt umber, so nice and dark. Okay, and I'm going to start to paint the snowman, give it some more detail, and start with the hat. And you're gonna see the paint spread out a little bit. That's actually okay. I like it spread out a little bit soft. Okay, I'm gonna clean my brush and I'm going to grab a little bit warmer color over here and just give it some warm color here. Okay, it's very subtle, you might not see it, but a little bit of warm color here. Okay, so it's not all black. Now, bring that dark down. And here's the eye of the snowman. You can connect that shape, that's fine. You can be a little bit loose about it. Okay, the button. Make sure your mixture is dark enough. Okay, it will still be a little bit soft, but this is good. This is actually not bad. Okay, a little bit more paint actually. A little drop here. Okay. Embrace the property of watercolor. It will blend, it will spread out. Okay, not everything has to be soft edge. Okay, and I'm gonna grab some of this blue as some darker color, and I'm just going to paint the bottom so that it has like a darker shadow underneath here. And now I'm going to leave it be. There's a huge bead right there. I'm going to dry my brush and just touch on it so the paintbrush will take away some of that bead there. It's a little bit too wet. Okay. I'll come back to the scarf later. I want that to be a little bit cleaner. Now the barn. I am going to mix that barn color, burnt sienna. I'm going to mix with some of that darker gray color, and I am going to paint the dark side of that barn. Okay, and once you look at that, we got that nice contrast. Now, I want to connect that to the tree, but I want to darken the tree. So I'm going to mix some more cooler gray color. This is pine tree, so it's dark. Okay. And I'm going to just paint mostly on the right side to create that sense of lighting and volume. I'll add a little bit of cobalt, turquoise, and a little bit of green there. Okay. A little bit of dark here. I do want to have that decent amount of light there. Okay, grab some cooler gray. Give it some shadow here. Casting by this roof. Give it a little bit of window. Some dark underneath the roof. And last but not least, this should be dry enough. I'm going to paint that red scarf on the snowman. So some cadmium red. Okay, watch the shape, make it a little bit flatter and wider in the bottom. Okay, that's pretty much it. Can have a little bit of dark there as well. Just a little bit. Okay, a little bit hints of detail there, here and there. So maybe some other houses, trees, whatever. Okay, but let's not overdo it. Keep it clean. Okay, that's pretty much it. Again, a very simple painting, and that's the point. I want it to be easy to follow so that you can kind of do this on your own. You don't have to think about all the complicated process. Just a first wash of the sky, some warm color, paint around the snow on the rooftop. And then the second wash is the background, connect that to the dark on the snowman, create some shadow, connect that to the barn and the tree on the right. And then the third wash will be the dark value of the hat, the eye, the button on the snowman, and the dark side of the house, the barn, and the tree in the front. Okay, so those are the things that we are going to do. Just very simple 3 value and connect to the shape. And the process, keep it simple, okay? There's a lot of wet on to wet, but even if you wait for the wash to completely dry and come back to it, the value will read the same. So I come back later and think this is a little bit too abrupt. So I'm gonna grab some warm color and kind of just add that in. Kind of bridge the gap between dark and light. And like a damp brush, get that edge out. Okay, so I think this is good. Hope you enjoy this one and hope you get to follow along. It's quite fun. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did follow along, I would love to see your result. Share your result on Instagram, tag Cafe Watercolor so I can see it. That's it for today's video. Hope you have a wonderful holiday wherever you are. Sending you much love and blessings. This is Eric from Cafe Watercolor. See you next time.